What is up, all my fellow collectors? Welcome back to another action figure review, and my very first, not only S.H.Figuarts review, but my very first Dragon Ball review on that channel. Personally, kind of wish it would have been someone other than Vegeta. Nothing against Vegeta, he's just not my favorite character, but I think he's still a pretty good one to start off with. This literally just came today, so I figured, hey, let's get it recorded. Because I actually had this on pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store for the longest time. And then, thanks to one of the Facebook groups I'm a part of, saw that this guy was on clearance on Best Buy's website for, I think it was 27 something. So I figured, yeah, we're gonna hop on that. And I think this is only my second other Vegeta figure. I don't have a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, so I was very excited to pick it up. Got some pretty cool product shots on the back. Some more on the side there. Traditional Figuarts Dragon Ball window showing off the figure and some of the accessories. Not much more on the top. Why isn't... I feel like that should be more on the top, but I guess because of the window it couldn't. Then you get Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Unwavering Saiyan Pride. Some more info down there. And there's the words and the barcodes and things. And yeah, let's get this guy out of here and see how cool he actually is. Alright, and here we have him out of the box with all of his accessories. And this is pretty much kind of, standard par for the course when it comes to these retail, I guess, versions of Figuarts. You basically get the figure, couple heads, couple hands, and maybe like one accessory, kind of like with how he has the crossed arms here. Which is cool. It's really all you really need for the price point. I mean, for typically 35 bucks, like I said, I got him on clearance for, I think, about 27, 28 something. That's pretty fair. No real complaints. I mean, it is a Vegeta, so unless you're getting like one of those like crazy special editions, well, I think like the Majin Vegeta, he might have a few more hands, a few more faces, stuff like that. But this is pretty much all you really need. It is funny that both of the Vegeta figures I own were both retails, but I mean, for him as a character, you really don't need a whole lot. Then I have a bunch of Gokus that have about every kind of bell and whistle you can imagine. But here he is, straight out of the box. This is the basic faceplate he comes with, kind of just typical Vegeta scowl. And then it's just, this suit that we've seen a bunch of times. It's the typical kind of like Cell Saga standard Vegeta armor. Which I really wish they would do an upgraded, like 2.0 style of the Whis outfit. Because that one's my favorite one, the gray with the slightly different armor. But yeah, I mean, it's a good Vegeta. It gets the job done. I mean, there's really not much it's the armor of Vegeta. The only thing that's really different, hair color and eye color. And then, as I showed off earlier, you get the folded arms, which is very, very Vegeta. I kind of wish Marvel Legends or something would do something kind of like... I like this. It's such a small little thing, but it's really cool. There's a lot of characters I would love to see with this from Marvel Legends. Then we have the 3 head sculpts. We have kind of him just being, cocky jerk who always gets his ass kicked at the end of it. Kind of just standard teeth gritting there. It's really all its difference is basically just the facials. And then we have kind of the yelling... I'm assuming kind of Final Flash style screaming face there. Then again, very standard with the hands you get, including the ones he comes with, 4 sets of hands. He has the base fist. We have the open palm kind of energy blast hands here. Then we have the fight stance hands, which are pretty cool. I like these ones. They're just something different. Not just to say, it's nice that they don't just reuse the Goku ones. They are kind of different. Then we have the Energy Blast slash Final Flash hands. See that there. There's the other one. And then we have the kind of thumbs up, I am the Prince of all Saiyans that he always says to people before. As I said, he ends up getting his freaking back caved in. And there goes the fist. But yeah, that's basically it for the accessories. Let's get these out of the way here and move on to some size comparisons here. Let's bring him a little closer. Starting off, this is the, also again, another retail Super Vegeta. And, oh, I didn't notice that. The heads are different. I think this is more styled like the older Super Saiyan hair, where it's a bit more flared out, whereas this one's a little bit more straight up, and it's also not quite as tall. So that's cool. But yeah, it's like the body is basically, I think even down to the wrinkles and everything, it's basically just the same figure. Again, which is fine. It's basically just the same character and the same costume he's worn like multiple times throughout the series. So that's pretty cool. And then I figure the most appropriate one to get to compare him is, here he is with this is the Broly movie, Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And I do notice, and this is another thing I do actually really like about this Vegeta. I'm kind of liking him more and more as this video goes on, is that his hair, which I know might not be the easiest to see on camera, his hair is a bit lighter and a bit more metallic than, say, this Goku. So I'm wondering, because this is, I said, this is the Dragon Ball Super Broly version of Goku, and they did do a Blue Vegeta version that came with the Super Saiyan God head sculpt, which I'd still love to get. I wish they would re-release that. And his suit was a much darker blue, and I think even his armor was colored gray, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'd be curious to see how much differences there is between that one and this one, and how much better that might look with this Goku. But these look really good together. You know, the height difference is there because, you know, Vegeta's a short king, both literally and figuratively. And then, of course, probably one of the best ones to get a comparison with him for, which I'm assuming, which is basically the arc that he's from. We have, again, another retail version. We have the Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rosé, which I love on this figure. Again, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but they kind of have like a pink wash on his gi where it almost looks purple. Almost like his aura would be up. It's like, it's not solid gray and black. There are these kind of pink kind of highlights under it, which is very cool, and it's not seen as much from a retail fair to get that kind of paint scheme with it, which is really cool. And then I mainly wanted to grab this and do this just because it's another Dragon Ball character, even though this version of Vegeta's never laid eyes upon this character, but just for some size differences here. Here he is next to the Final Form Cooler. And yeah, talk about your size difference. Holy cow. Cooler is the big boy. That looks pretty cool together. We need a golden Cooler repaint of this. Give me that, Bandai. Come on. What are you doing? And then I figured I might show him off with a couple Marvel Legends figures. Here he is with my last review. The Maximum Series Spider-Man. So you can kind of see how they look there, next to a standard, I guess, well, not so much standard Marvel Legends. Here he is next to, here's, I guess, a more standard Marvel Legends. We have the Secret Wars Iron Man. I guess that's more of a more accurate comparison. And then here he is with the, we have the Short King of the Dragon Ball universe with the Short King of the Marvel universe. Here he is next to the X-Men 97 Wolverine, and Wolverine is just barely taller than him, which is funny. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. It's very quick, simple, in and out kind of review, which works because that's kind of who Vegeta is as a character. There's not a ton to say about it. It's just a really solid, you know, good-looking figure. I love these Dragon Ball Figuarts. They're some of my favorite figures, one of my favorite lines to collect. I have a ton of these. ton of Gokus, a couple of the villains. I have a Vegeta and a Gogeta, but there's still plenty more that I would like to pick up. These guys are just awesome. I love these figures. And this one especially, I really like. I know it's not the most popular opinion, but I really like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan form, or Super Saiyan Blue, whichever you prefer. So it's nice to have it's nice to have a Vegeta version of that, and it's nice to have another figure in my collection that's not just like the umpteenth Goku, even though Goku is my favorite character. But I digress. But yeah, if you guys don't have a blue Vegeta, or you don't have a Vegeta at all, and you see this out in the loud, for what, $34.99 like Target or Walmart or Best Buy or whatever, definitely suggest picking it up, especially if you can find it at Best Buy on clearance like I did. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for me. Again, just another quick one. Please consider commenting, and subscribing. I really appreciate you guys watching. That's going to be it for me today. You guys have a good one. Peace and love, everybody. See you in the next one.